Hello. Thank you for your interest in universal design and accessibility for online learning. I'm Glenna Decker, and my role is to introduce you to the topic and to the self-directed course in Blackboard, where you can proceed through learning modules at your own pace to learn about UDL and accessibility for all learners. Why is it important to learn about this? Well, I suppose I should be asking you why you consider it to be important. I'm sure that you do, and that's why you're here. For me, online learning is about access to education, so that those who would otherwise have barriers to continuing their education might have at least one of those barriers removed, the barrier of location. If it is prohibitive for me to get to classes, whether because of distance or scheduling or other time constraints, then I might be able to take a course offered in an online or hybrid format. The flexibility of when I can access the course materials allows me to continue with my other life obligations without having to forego the learning. However, if I am a person with a disability and my online course is not designed in a way that I can participate, then the barrier remains. The experience may even leave me feeling disempowered, knowing that I am capable of the coursework, but I just cannot access it. So if I am in this field of faculty development for online teaching because I believe in the importance of access to learning, then access has to mean more than location and time, but also the ability to access the course materials and have the opportunity for equal learning experiences. In addition, Grand Valley State University and all other institutions of higher education must comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act and pay specific attention to Section 508. The ADA passed in 1990 and was amended by Congress in 2008. It provides individuals with disabilities protection from discrimination with respect to employment, transportation, public accommodations, state and local government, and telecommunications. Then Section 508 of the ADA states that agencies must give employers with disabilities and members of the public access to information that is comparable to the access available to others. This means that as an institution, we have to provide the means for all students to access and fully participate in our courses, and to comply with the law, we have to provide reasonable accommodations to students who legally request them. The ADA is a civil rights law, and this means that the focus is on the needs and the rights of individuals, that all individuals, regardless of their circumstances, are entitled to equal treatment in our society. Each part of the ADA must be applied on an individualized, fact-specific, case-by-case basis. In essence, this means that the accommodations must be designed for the individual. For example, Braille may be an acceptable means of delivery for one student who is blind, but another student who is blind might not be able to read Braille. There is no one size or one accommodation fits all. And that is why we want to consider universal design for learning. First, there was universal design, which evolved from the field of architecture. Universal design is an approach to the design of all products and environments to be as usable as possible by as many people as possible, regardless of age, ability, or situation. So universal design for learning takes this concept and applies it to education. How can we develop and provide learning materials that are usable to as many people as possible, regardless of age, ability, or situation? The extent to which we do this supports all learners without singling out or marginalizing any individual learner. And if our content is accessible to a learner with a disability, then it is still accessible and maybe even more so for others. For example, if we close caption an audio file, not only does that provide access to the content to a learner with a hearing loss, but also improves access to a learner with ADHD, or to a learner whose stronger learning style is auditory. So those are the things that you're going to learn about in this workshop. It's a self-directed course. It's in Blackboard. It's by folks from Blackboard with folks from other universities that are part of the Blackboard Accessibility Interest Group. And there are a few supplements that I've included. The course site is designed for flexibility, so you can access it and learn when it is convenient for you. There is no intended order for navigation, so feel free to begin with whatever topic you prefer. So let's walk through the course site. You've already logged in to Blackboard and found the site and the Begin Here button. Let's take a look at what else is here. About the course is the well-earned credit page for the course developers. I contributed a few resources to our own course site, but I did not and could not have developed this course. Next, if you click on Universal Design, you will see how the modules are laid out. There will be a brief introduction with some guiding questions, followed by lesson content. When you click on the link Lesson Content, notice that it will open in a new browser window or tab. In my case, it's a tab. Once I've clicked on it, I can access the module content. Notice how the page is designed? It is very simple with high contrast. If you were using a screen reader, it would be very easy to read the screen. You will see that there are links to other resources, and I encourage you, if you have time, to check out the ones of interest. They're very good resources. When you click on a link within the page, notice that it will not open in a new window or tab, so you will need to click the back button or close that tab to return to Blackboard. You can then navigate through the module by clicking on the Next or Previous buttons at the bottom of each page. As I quickly click through this module, you might notice a hint of the content that you will find. There are a lot of suggestions, information on different kinds of disabilities and other barriers that one might have for learning, and a lot of resources and a lot of suggestions. And it ends with the design considerations for online courses. It's essentially a checklist for self-assessment of your own course design. When I am finished with this module, I can close the tab or window and return to Blackboard. And when I'm ready, I can go on to the next module. You will see that this one, as well as the next two, have the same design as the first. The next link, Guidelines, was not part of the original tutorial, but are resources that I thought might be helpful. These are links all from the same website, and they highlight specific ways to make different technology tools accessible. So from Adobe PDF to PowerPoint files and Microsoft Word documents, as well as a summary of all of the guides. References and Resources contains one folder of resources that I posted for you, and the rest are from the developers. Again, there are a lot of great resources, tutorials, and suggestions for you. The Grand Valley State University contacts are listed under Contacts for your convenience. Jeff Sykes is the person who supports assistive technology here. So if you have a student with a disability registered for one of your courses, you will hear from the Disability Support Services Department. You are encouraged to contact them with any questions. If there is an assistive technology requirement, as there will be for an online or hybrid course, then Jeff Sykes is your best contact to help you in your planning. The instructional design team is listed, and here I am, listed, Glenna Decker, my contact information. I really want to thank you for your time and interest. I hope that you enjoy the workshop and that you find it to be as helpful as I have. Feel free to contact me with any questions, and please let me know what you think of it. I look forward to hearing from you.